Congressmen and senators are expending much of their time and energy right now raising the millions of dollars in campaign funds they'll need just to hold on to a job that pays $174,000 a year. Few of them are doing it for the salary, and all of them will say they're doing it to serve the public. But there are other benefits: power, prestige, and the opportunity to become a Washington insider with access to information and connections that no one else has in an environment of privilege where rules that govern the rest of the country don't always apply to them.
Bruh.
I wanted to ask you why you and your husband, back in March of 2008, accepted and participated in a very large IPO deal from Visa. At a time there was major legislation affecting the credit card companies making its way through the House. And did you consider that to be a conflict of interest?
I don't know what your point is of your question. Is there some point that you want to make with that?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Well, I guess what I'm asking is, do you think it's all right for a speaker to accept a very preferential and favorable stock deal?
Well, we didn't.
Prove it.
You participated in the IPO.
Well, I have many
and at the time you were
investments, but
Speaker of the House. You don't think it was a conflict of interest or had the appearance of a conflict of interest?
It only has the appearance if you decide that you're going to have elaborate on a false premise. But it's not true, and that's that.
Go f*** yourself. But go f*** yourself. Is that clear?
So congressmen get a pass on insider trading.
They do. The fact is, if you sit on a healthcare committee and you know that Medicare, for example, is considering not reimbursing for a certain drug, that's market-moving information. And if you can trade stock off of that information and do so legally, that's a great profit-making opportunity, and that sort of behavior goes on.
Why does Congress get a pass on this?
It's really the way the rules have been defined, and the people who make the rules are the political class in Washington, and they've conveniently written them in such a way that they don't apply to themselves.
Just follow the money.
Tonight, the fleecing of America. Congress has done nothing about banning or limiting stock trading for members of Congress, despite widespread support for it. Insider reporting 63 members of Congress have violated the Stock Act that is supposed to stop insider trading and conflicts of interest.
Threw up in my mouth a little bit.
There, you've got all these members of Congress violating the Stock Act, but here's the thing. It's a slap on the wrist. So even if they get in trouble, it's nothing big. Why are they even being investigated? Who cares?
Well, it's sort of like if you parked your car in front of your house and there was a no parking sign, but the cost of doing business was $1 parking ticket. That's effectively what it's like for Congress in a way, because if you do violate this act and it's not absolutely egregious, the fine you're going to pay out of the gate is going to be about $200. Okay, and Stephanie, we're talking about trades here that sometimes are going to be months, even years late. They amount into the hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars. And there's very little incentive for Congress to effectively abide by a law that it passed for itself to defend against conflicts of interest and, at worst, insider trading.
I love that analogy. If the fine to park in front of my house was $1, I'd park in front of there every day, tomorrow, yesterday, and for the rest of my life.
Well, what are we doing here? Hey.
The voters send members of Congress to Washington. They expect them to do the people's business.
not to be day trading on the stock market, not to be using the information that they get from briefings to go and make a quick buck on Wall Street. So here's what my bill does. It says no more trading of stocks by members of Congress. In fact, no more ownership of stocks by members of Congress. If you want to save, fine, put it in a mutual fund like most Americans do. But Nancy Pelosi is the perfect example of what should not be happening in D.C., which is people getting rich off in the stock market off of information they know because they're a member of Congress. There's lots of reports like that with her family, and other members of Congress. I mean, this is a problem that has been going on for years, and she is just a perfect example of how rich people can get by using their information. Listen, insider trading is already illegal, and we're talking here about members of Congress, the briefings that they get, the information that we have from hearings. It's information that most Americans don't have because, of course, that's why they send us to Congress, is to do their business, not to turn that around and to get rich off of it. That's why I call it the Pelosi Act. We need to act right now.